I got the flash on for some reason. I want to turn the lights on. Matter of fact, let me go do that real quick. Just hold on a second. Alright. So, I do want to talk about this. So, I want to talk to you guys about attention and rejection. So acceptance and attention. So I was just talking about this in the car and I was thinking about it. I feel like, and I'm just speaking from a male's perspective, I feel like a lot of women in this generation have these two things that's in power, and that's attention and acceptance. Now it's the same thing, right? But I feel like you gain attention to get acceptance. Not saying that males don't do the same thing. I feel like it only applies to how you use social media, and I feel like that's what hurts a lot of women, is that social media has been their empire to empower their dysfunction when it comes down to attention and it comes down to their phones. You know, I'll give you a better description. Like, first things first, I'm never gonna date a girl that wants to go on her phone when we go on dates. If I go on a date with you, I need communication. I need you to look me in the eye and have a talk with me. If you're not going to talk to me, then we're not going to have a good dinner or a good lunch or breakfast. And you know me, I don't like going to public places. I have anxiety. I have OCD. I can't handle going to public places because I can't handle disturbance, and I can't handle controversy, and I dang sure can't handle babies crying or children crying. I just can't handle it. I can't handle it because, you know, my nerves be bad and my ego be kicking my behind sometimes. It bothers me to where it's kind of like a cat scratching your back, and it hurts so bad that you wanted to stop, but the only way you can stop is if you move or get away from the cat. That's how I feel when I go to these restaurants. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe, and most of it is just because, not because of just the surroundings, but it's like the person that's right in front of me. If you're not making me feel calm and safe, it's very hard for me to really sit down and eat and have a conversation with you, because we're not doing this. So the attention that we get from these people, or what you get from people, is kind of like the opposite of what I want to do, because I'm not a big fan of attention, and I'm very a private person. And I hope the girl I be with, you know, feel the same way. I feel like if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, the two things gotta go: attention and acceptance. You should never chase for acceptance, and you should never try to do whatever it takes to gain attention from people for likes, comments, and shares, and retweets, all that. Social media has really messed up our minds, but I think we're, you know, again, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I'll go on my phone too, but I only go on my phone when it's time to go to work. So again, I work with my phone. I make money off my phone, but I don't go on my phone for other stuff unless I'm by myself. See, if I'm with my people, I don't go on my phone. And neither should you. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to go on my phone to have a good time, because the phone don't do nothing but take away your time. That's why I don't like the app. That's why I don't like the app FaceTime, because I'd rather see you face to face to make time. I'd rather make time face to face. You know what I'm saying? So if you break down FaceTime, how about let's do this? Let's make time face to face. Face to face. Let's make time. I feel like if we don't do that, we're not gonna go nowhere. And we need to go somewhere. Otherwise, we can just stay here and just quarantine. It's very hard, and I'm just speaking for a man's perspective, because as a man, I know it's very hard to tell your woman that, look, we need to stop doing these things. I think when it's better, we just say, hey, come here, I want to talk to you for a minute. I want to talk to you about this. I feel like this because it's been bothering me lately. I know back then I didn't care, but now I care, because it's like, I don't want a woman that wants attention. I don't want a woman that wants acceptance. You know? But unfortunately, every woman wants attention. And, you know, maybe they don't want acceptance, but if they want attention, what the heck you think they also want? Acceptance. I feel like men only want attention from women and acceptance from women. I feel like that's the only time they want it. But in this generation, I don't know what men want. I know back then, they want attention and acceptance from women. Now, I don't know what men want. I know women, to me, they want attention and acceptance because they know that's either going to get them paid, that's going to get them money, that's going to get them luxury, life, all that. I can't find one girl that doesn't want to walk by themselves when I walk with a group of people. You know, when I think back at all these nightclubs, it just breaks my heart to see girls not socializing with other guys and guys not socializing with other girls. They just come in with their best friends and their groups, and it's like, when y'all gonna get on the dance floor? When y'all gonna like, you know, really actually have fun with each other? Unfortunately, that I didn't see none of that when I went in these nightclubs. I haven't. And when I actually went to 2 of them, and none of them was that exciting, because there was no interaction. There was no real relationships building. There was no socialism, I'll say that. There was a lot of people on their phones, a lot of people that was antisocial. And when I see, and I feel like that's because people were they were hypnotized by their phones. But I feel like a lot of them don't have trust issues. You know, they're afraid that a guy is gonna spike up their drink. They're afraid that a guy is gonna rape them, take them home, abduct them. And women should not have these kind of fears. But I have to question that, because if you're afraid of that, then going on Instagram, recording yourself, going to these locations, knowing that these guys can find you, that shouldn't be the answer right there. But some of these girls would just do it and just say, well, I just recorded and just put it on my camera roll, and I'm like, then why is it on your Instagram? They can't even give me you can't even give them an answer. So it's kind of like, I have to question the ability of it at this point, but it's like, I think if we can get rid of those 2 things, attention and acceptance, I feel like, to me, I don't know how these young girls are going to survive, because they need that. whether they want to admit it or not. The older women, they've been past that. They don't want to be around that. But there are some older women that are getting involved in that. And if that's the case, then I don't see. And if that's the case, then I can't speak on those women. But they're at fault too, because they look at the young kids and they look at the young cats and they do the same thing. So social media has really took a lot from the older generation. So the older generation is joining in. But the ones that are not, you got to salute to them because they know their place. You know what I'm saying? So any woman that's not caught up in the attention and the acceptance rate, then salute to y'all, because there's just a lot of young girls that are addicted to social media and addicted to those two things. So for any boyfriend or husband out there or any guy out there that's single, if you're having issues with women because of those two things, I'm just letting you know right now, God has a plan for y'all. But if you're married and you're in a relationship, then that's where y'all have to really figure out, is this the girl you want to be with for the rest of your life? Someone that just give all their attention on their phones and people, then give all the attention on you. Imagine having kids, right? And your kids are no longer paying attention to you, they're paying attention to the mom. So the mom is just giving them a reason why they should keep going, you know what I'm saying? With that, it's like, okay, fine. But to me, it's like, we don't need all that. But I can understand it could be difficult. So if we can so those two things is something that I encourage everyone to be aware of. And again, if you're in a relationship, be self-aware on those two things, because if your wife is into that, you gotta decide from there, do you want to be with that woman for the rest of your life? Some of it's not a big deal, but it is if you're trying to keep your privacy private. And unfortunately, there are women out there that just don't care and they want to make it public, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. But but it's not fine when somebody takes that info and take advantage of it, and then you don't do, and then when it's too late, you can't get it back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like posting a video of you dancing in a humiliating way, in an embarrassing way. She posted it on Instagram, and then you can't take it down because she refused to, and now people are sharing it all over. Some men don't care, but there are some men that do. And for the ones that do, you gotta respect those men, because again, it's all about respect. But in this generation, nobody gives a freak about respect. So I mean, that's because social media. So I would say for me, be very careful of who you date, who you be with, because you never know when that person's gonna take advantage of you, all because they want those two things. So for all my men out there, be very careful who you be with and who you choose, because those women will take advantage of you, especially when they're not thinking about their safety. And I encourage a lot of women to really care about their safety, because you never know when social media is going to get you killed, get you raped, get you in all these situations where you can't get out of. And I just, I pray for those women, and I pray for the men too, mentally, spiritually, psychologically. So that's one thing I want to talk about, because those two things is really hurting a lot of relationships, and it's hurting a lot of marriages. So that's one thing that I want to stand on and talk about today.